Lots of modelers are excited about the latest release from Intermountain, the SD40-2 locomotive. I've got the Union Pacific paint scheme here, an CNW locomotive. MSRP for sound $224.95 and non-sound is $149.95. So let's take a look to see what you get on this latest release from Intermountain Railway. Well guys, welcome back to yet another review. Today we've got the SD40-2 like I mentioned before. One thing you may notice right off the bat is that it does not have a horn installed and does not have window sunshades installed. They come in the package, so I'm going to go ahead and install those for you, and then we'll go on with the review of this SD40-2. Now that the horn and the window sunshades are installed, let's go ahead and get started looking around this locomotive. We'll start from the front here. Obviously the horn was a separately installed thing. I don't think they installed it just because of parts breaking in transit, but it was a real easy install. You just plug it directly into the hole. There's no extra drilling needed. Same goes for the window sunshades. As you work your way down, you've got backlit number boards on each side of the headlight. The headlight and ditch lights are real bright, real nice color. We'll get into that later. Got separately applied grab irons on the nose here. The UP shield is clear and legible in print. You got a safety tread for the walkway in the front here. These handrails on the front are a little more fragile than the handrails on the side, but overall the handrails are durable, straight, don't have a lot of waves or anything to them. Working our way down, you see the MU receptacle here. The ditch lights are located on each side here, just below or just above the snowplow. And the MU hoses hang down with silver tipped ends representing the connections. Also, you've got the Katy metal coupler, so it's real strong and durable, and the magnetic coupler trip pin there. And this, although it looks pretty low, clears my track well. I do have a flat layout, but looks pretty good. Has a lower setting to the ground to have a more realistic look. Let's go ahead and swing around here to the side. As you see, there's cab windows. There are not cab figures installed, but they do have interior cab detail with seating and a panel in there. The road number 2958 on the sides, clear and legible. You've got a lot of nice truck detail. I will probably move this back a little bit onto the other track so you can see the truck detail. But it has nice truck detail, and I'll add a little bit of light to this so you can see better the truck detail. There we go. So nice truck detail. Like I said, it has a nice low sitting to the ground. It's not the high rail looking things that I've seen on other products. So it's got a nice appearance, nice detail. You've got the fuel tank here, which has a couple of the valves, and obviously on the side you've got the handrails, which I mentioned are nice and straight. You don't see any waves in them. They're durable, they spring back. You know, they can take a little bit of punishment without any problems. I'm going to go ahead and kill the light because I think it's taken away from the natural color, but as we move further back, you've got the radiator fan grills up top, the actual Union Pacific print on the side with all the compartments that are separate. You know, you can tell that there's a little depth there, not amazing depth, but there is depth on the door compartments there. I'm going to go ahead and swing to the back where you have more of the same on the front. And we've lost focus here. On the back side, again, headlights or tail lights, no lit number boards. These are just painted on numbers. That may be part of the features from the CNW unit that it is. You actually have something I noticed here, which is a operating coupler cut bar, so coupler cut lever. It actually moves, so that's kind of neat. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's intentional because I don't see any attempt to secure that down to the frame here. Again, MU hoses on the back, nothing special there, same as the front. and you got your KD coupler. So turning it around on this side, you've got a little bit of a difference from the other side. You've got a sight glass that you can see here right in between the Union Pacific, which is actually the same on the prototype of the CNW units. And we'll take a quick look at the top and then we'll fire this up, because pretty much everything else is the same as the other side. And we'll let you hear the sounds, see the lights, and then we'll talk about pulling power and weight. As we take a look at the top of the locomotive, you'll see that there's radiator fan grills. You can see the fans separate. There's like a three-dimensional depth to these fan grills. You've got lift rings here positioned on all sides. You've got the exhaust here that's nicely done. I believe, from everything I can tell, it is correctly sized from the prototype photos I looked at. And then again, you've got the horn detail on the top of the roof. So with the radiator fan detail having a three-dimensional look, you can see the fans inside. I think they did a nice job on the top. Not the most amazing detail I've ever seen in my life, but definitely detail that you'd expect on these modern locomotives just now coming out from manufacturers. I think the best way to appreciate the lights is a head-on look, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply track power so you can hear the startup sequence and see the lights come on so you can get an idea. Personally, I think these are the best lights I've seen on an HO model, both in because they're LEDs, but they have a nice white appearance and they're nice and bright. So let's let you see for yourself. There's the startup sequence. It's a little hard to catch the lights, but they are real nice and bright. The ditch lights are brighter than the actual headlights, and the number boards do light up. I can try to kill some lights so you can see that. F5 lights the number boards up, so now you can see the number boards by themselves lit up. I'm going to turn on the headlight and the ditch lights, which is F6. Headlight obviously is F1, so I'm sorry, F0. So there you go. That is the lighting of this unit. Now let's go ahead and listen to some sounds after I put some lights back on. Here's the bell. I really like the sound of the bell coming from this lock sound decoder. This is an ESU lock sound decoder. Intermountain has switched to lock sound, and I think it was a good move in most of these cases, if not all of them. Here's the horn. And then, as you know, if you have a Digitrack system or an Ecos system from ESU, you can quill the horn on these lock sound decoders. So I'm going to give you the quillable horn real quick, and then we'll move to actually operation. So you can kind of play with the horn a little bit. Sometimes it sounds better if you ease on a little lighter, but I just kind of went full throttle there. So that's one neat feature of these ESU decoders, along with the ecosystem or the Digitrack system. Now this locomotive has some great pulling power, and part of the reason is its weight. For just a little SD40-2, this thing weighs in at 14.9 ounces, or SD40-2 kilograms for Europeans, or 422 grams. So pretty good weight on this locomotive, and it equates to good pulling power. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it operates. So we're going to go ahead and move this to 1 speed step and see how it reacts. So that's 1 out of 128 speed steps. And it has, right out of the box without any breaking in, pretty smooth running. It crawls along without jerking, and I think it does a real nice job. Gonna go up to 2, 3, 4 speed steps. I apologize, I'm using my old camera tripod. The new tripod is way more quiet. That's about 5 speed steps right there. I don't have a lot of room to operate because I have this big coal train that I'm pulling. But as you can see, both in the forward and rear settings, going forward and backwards, you've got smooth operation at low speeds. Now let's talk about pulling power. I've got 57 Athearn and Walther's coal hoppers, coal porters, with fake coal loads, plastic that just sits on the top. And it takes usually about 2 Athearn AC 4400 ready to rolls to pull this. But I'm going to go ahead and attempt to pull it with the SD40-2 from Intermountain here. Now keep in mind, I will say that even though there's 57 cars and they are coal porters, they're not really that heavy. But my pull test machine is lost somewhere because I'm getting ready to tear everything down to move, so I can't really do an actual pull test, so we'll do this instead. And it spins out a little bit, but once you get it going, it pulls a little bit. So I take about 5 of these coal porters off, and I think we're good to go. And that's only at 9 speed steps. I'm going to speed it up some, see if it can continue to pull these coal porters. And it is struggling even at, it's about 68 speed steps right now, but not too bad. It did spin out, so you know, probably realistically we're looking at about 40 coal porters this thing can actually pull. Last thing I want to do is rev this thing up and slam on the brakes, basically turn it all the way back down to 0 speed steps. That way you can hear some braking action, and that'll be about it for this review of the Intermountain SD40-2. So as you see there, you get the nice braking noise when you slam on the brakes there. This version again is the sound equipped version. They've got a non-sound version that's DCC. Then you can order a plug. I think Intermountain will ship it to you. It will make it DC. So that about wraps it up. The functions vary from obviously the bell and the horn. You've got coupler clank on F3. You've got the dynamic brake on F4. You can manually notch it up in F9 and notch it down in F10. 11 is the compressor. 12 is the spitter valve. "14 sanding. "15 is the short air let off. We got 16 is the radiator fan. "17 is the brake set release. 18 is the spitter valve. 19 is the outer spitters. I'm not going to go through all of them, but those are pretty much a quick idea of the sounds, and you can also change the horns. The SD40-2 has K5LA, K3L, M5, P3, P5A, Nathan single chime, Leslie A200, Leslie S3L, Leslie S5T, Nathan M3, Hancock air whistle, Wabco E2, Leslie Super 40 or Super D-Fawn, Nathan Holden M3H, dual single chimes, and Nathan 3 chime. So lots of horn options on there as well to change with CVs, and we'll probably get into that in some other video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick review of the Intermountain SD40-2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut power off and get to the chase. Obviously, MSRP is affordable at just under $225, or if you're doing the non-sound, you know, the MSRP for that pretty affordable too at $149, just under $150. Plus you got to consider the discounts you can find at different places. My suggestion is trainworldonline.com usually has a good deal on these, so be sure to check those guys out. And that is about it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.